Today, we're diving into the story of a truly monumental engineering project. This isn't just about building a ship. It's about building a moving mountain of steel, a behemoth designed to completely reshape global trade as we know it. So, let's get right into it.
To really get the scale of this, you first need to understand this number, 90%. That's how much of all international trade, everything from your smartphone to the car you drive, is transported by sea. You know, we might see 15,000 planes in the sky, but right now there are over 38,000 massive cargo ships on the ocean. It is, quite literally, the lifeblood of our global economy.
For years, the whole game was just about one thing: size. Who could build the biggest ship? But we've kind of hit a wall. If they get any bigger, these giants can't even fit through essential waterways like the Suez or Panama canals. On top of that, you've got rising fuel costs and tough new environmental rules. So the competition had to change. It's not just about being the biggest anymore. Now it's about being the smartest, the fastest, and, most importantly, the cleanest.
So here's how we're going to break down the incredible journey of how these new titans of the sea are born. We'll start with the challenge, which seemed pretty much impossible. Then we'll get into the mind-boggling blueprint. We'll see how they're built in pieces, uncover the giant's clean energy heart, watch it go from steel to sea, and finally, just stand back and appreciate this absolute masterpiece of ingenuity.
Okay, so the challenge was thrown down by the French shipping company CMA-CGM, and their goal? Well, it was audacious to say the least. They wanted to build the world's largest eco-friendly ships, running not on old-school fuel, but on liquefied natural gas. And they didn't just want one, oh no, they wanted a whole fleet, 9 of these revolutionary vessels, and they wanted them built in just 2 years. A timeline that, frankly, sounded completely nuts.
So, just how big is this new generation of container ship? Honestly, the numbers are almost hard to wrap your head around, but we're going to try. Let's pull back the curtain and look at the blueprint for this absolute behemoth.
First off, the length. 400 meters. To really picture that, imagine 4 professional football fields laid end to end. It's taller than the Qutb Minar and wider than a 6-lane highway. Seriously, this isn't just a ship, it's a skyscraper floating on its side.
And get this, that's just its empty weight, 70,000 tons of pure steel. To visualize that, think about the weight of 7 Eiffel Towers. Or, if this helps, 11,500 fully grown African elephants. And remember, that's before they've even loaded a single box onto it.
Now, here's the number that really matters in the world of shipping. This beast can carry 23,112 standard shipping containers. If you took all of those containers and just lined them up, one after another, that line would stretch for an incredible 150 kilometers.
So how on earth do you build 9 of these monsters in only 2 years, when just one ship normally takes 18 months? Well, the answer was to basically tear up the old rulebook. Instead of building it from the bottom up, the shipyard used a revolutionary modular method, basically building the ship in huge, pre-made pieces called blocks. The whole process is this incredible ballet of logistics, performed by 6,000 workers in a shipyard that's 4 kilometers long. It all starts with cutting thousands of steel sheets. Then they assemble those into blocks, some as big as apartment buildings. And here's the clever part. They pre-fit all the pipes and wiring into these blocks before they're welded together to form the ship.
And the technology they're using is just wild. To cut the 12,660 steel sheets needed for just one ship, they use laser beams heated to 18,000 degrees Celsius. Let me say that again. That is 3 times hotter than the surface of the sun. This unbelievable power lets the lasers slice through thick steel like a hot knife through butter.
Once the pieces are in place, the welding starts. And man, it's a nearly endless job. The total length of welding on a single ship is a staggering 1,250 kilometers. To put that in perspective, if you unspooled that weld in a straight line, it would stretch the entire distance from Karachi to Lahore. And every single inch has to be inspected perfectly, because the ocean finds every single mistake.
Building that massive hull was only half the fight. The other challenge, and maybe the even bigger one, was environmental. The solution was liquefied natural gas, or LNG. It's basically natural gas that's been chilled until it becomes a liquid, making it a way cleaner fuel than polluting diesel. So this project meant giving the giant a brand new revolutionary heart.
So why is this such a big deal?
Well, compared to the heavy fuel oil ships normally use, LNG puts out 99% less sulfur dioxide, 91% less of those nasty fine air pollutants, and 20% less carbon dioxide. This is a massive, massive leap forward for cleaner global shipping.
But there's a huge catch with LNG. To keep it as a liquid, the gas has to be stored at a mind-numbing negative 161 degrees Celsius. If it gets any warmer, it turns back into a gas, expands, and, well, it's game over. So the engineers basically had to figure out how to build the world's biggest, most sophisticated thermos bottle right in the middle of the ship.
And they did this on a scale nobody had ever seen before. The result was the largest LNG fuel tank ever built. It has a volume of 18,600 cubic meters and can hold 20 million liters of LNG. To give you an idea of that size, you could fit 6 Olympic-sized swimming pools inside it. That's enough fuel to get the ship all the way from Asia to Europe without stopping. So how do you make sure this giant thermos is perfectly sealed? Well, workers use this beautifully simple but absolutely critical test. They just apply soapy water to the welded joints, put a glass container over it, and create a vacuum. If they saw any bubbles, that meant a leak, and it was fixed right away. Perfection was the only thing that mattered. Okay, now for the heart itself. This is the largest natural gas-powered engine ever built. It's 20 meters tall. We're talking the height of a 6-story building. It weighs over 2,000 tons, and it kicks out a ridiculous 85,000 horsepower. It's so big that maintenance crews can actually walk around inside of it. All right, so the hull is assembled, the engine and the fuel tank are in place. Now the final frantic stage of construction begins. This is where thousands of different parts all come together to turn this mountain of steel into a real, functioning, ocean-going ship. And the final pieces are just as impressive as everything else. You've got a single 92-ton propeller that's 10 meters high, 1 million liters of specialized paint to protect the hull. The command bridge, the ship's brain, is lifted into place, complete with a smart eyes camera system that gives the captain a full 360-degree view. Even a single link in its anchor chain weighs 300 kilograms. After a year and a half of non-stop work, the ship was finally ready for its ultimate exam, a grueling 15-day sea trial. They pushed every single system to its absolute limit. They tested the engine speed, slammed on the emergency brakes, calibrated all the navigation systems, and checked the entire thing one last time for any leaks before it could be declared ready for service. And the verdict? The shipyard won its impossible race against time. One by one, 9 of these game-changing container ships were finished in record time. It was a victory, not just of speed, but of pure innovation, and it marked a huge leap forward for the entire shipping industry.
But you know, this whole project wasn't just about giant machines and cool technology. At its heart, this is a human story. It's the story of the intelligence, the teamwork, and the relentless hard work of thousands of people from all over the world, all coming together to pull off the impossible.
These incredible ships are so much more than just vessels. They are living proof that when humans set a really ambitious goal, we can move mountains of steel across the toughest seas on Earth. And it really leaves you wondering, what other impossible things are we about to make possible?